والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. We continue reading from Imam Al-Ghazali's Al-Quran, the Juz of the Quran Spares, reading from Surah Al-Jathiyah. And we have reached verse 25. The context before that is that the non-believers said that there is nothing but this life, meaning that there is no resurrection, meaning that there is no day of judgment. And of course, it means that there is no accountability and no hellfire, no paradise. That's what they speculate, that's what they came up with. We shall read inshallah now 25 and beyond بإذن عز وجل. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذا تتلى عليهم آياتنا بينات ما كان حجتهم إلا أن قالوا ائتوا بآبائنا إن كنتم صادقين. And whenever our clear revelations are recited to them, their only argument is to say, bring our forefathers back, if what you say is true, meaning right now. قل الله يحييكم ثم يميتكم ثم يجمعكم إلى يوم القيامة لا ريب فيه ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون. Say, addressing the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, it is Allah who gives you life, then causes you to die, then will gather you all on the day of judgment, about which there is no doubt, but most people do not know. ولله ملك السماوات والأرض ويوم تقوم الساعة يومئذ يخسر المبطلون. To Allah alone belongs the kingdom of the heavens and the earth. On the day the hour will be established, the people of falsehood will then be in total loss. Al-Mubtil is the denier, it's the non-believer, is the one who do not accept neither the revelation, in both cases ayat, in both cases because we talk about the ayat, the signs in the universe. You see the life and death right before your eyes, the seasons, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revives, quickens the earth so that people could ponder the notion of return. And it's a serious, the notion of mubtil also could go beyond non-belief on that level. It could be batala. Batala is also used in Arabic for unemployment. What does it have to do with what we are reading here? It's not about simply being employed. It's a whole worldview where you are, you take things seriously. It's about contributing. It's about leaving your own. It's not about glorifying your ego. It's about leaving something behind that will generate hasanat after your death. We spoke about this before, the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. إذا مات ابن آدم انقطع عمله إلا من ثلاث. When the son of Adam, the daughter of Adam, when he dies, his deeds, meaning his record, will stop, except for three sources. Ongoing charity. You don't have to contribute $1 million. If you have, if you could spare $1 to contribute to a clinic, to a school, whatever is a good cause, and for an ongoing charity, It will continue to generate hasanat, good deeds for you after your death. Beneficial knowledge. You might not be a scholar or a scientist who does something good, leaves behind beneficial knowledge, but you could. For example, I'm just giving an example. I don't think that colleges of medicine will wait until someone will buy them a subscription to the scientific journal, The Lancet, for example. But it's only as an example. As long as it is, this is of course of benefit. Or a book to the library, but of course we don't talk about romance bestseller books that are there's nothing there in the book except uh, sexuality and violence. And the third one is a child that will supplicate, will ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, will pray, will include you in his or her prayers. But batala is not unemployment, it's basically being in a state where you are not contributing something good. Nothing. You just get up. You are a believer, but beyond this, you might do your minimum ibadah, but the rest of it, you might be wasting your life in cafes, you might be wasting your life in watching TV simply. You just come back from work, for example, and you watch TV endlessly, scrolling endlessly on your phone. It seems that the average around the world now is about 7 hours a day. A day. That's almost one third of your life is scrolling. And people, this will definitely have bad influence on you. Ibn Kathir mentions a very short anecdote. Sufyan al-Thawri, rahimahullah, one of the major Muslim jurists, scholars, but also with an understanding. It's not because the juridical is very specific, juridical judgment is very specific, but you could go beyond even when something is permissible. You don't want to spend your life only doing that which is permissible. He said when Sufyan al-Thawri came to Medina, when he reached Medina, there was someone, his name is Al-Mu'afiri. Al-Mu'afiri, he heard him simply joking, trying to make people laugh. So that's basically, probably this is the closest you can get to the notion of stand-up comedy. I can speak about this. That's not what it is. It's not a professional. It's not a profession. At one point, the storyteller, literally a storyteller, a profession emerged. Al-Qussas, Al-Qas. And later on, definitely after the first generation of Muslims. So he simply would say something to make people laugh. And Sufyan Thawri told him, Ya Shaykh, أما علمت أن لا تعالى يوما يخسر فيه المبطلون. So he used the same word as in this verse, يخسر المبطلون. He's a believer, he's not an unbeliever. But he reminded him that didn't you know that there will be a day when the mubtilun will be at a loss? Here in this context, not using your time properly. It doesn't mean that you don't laugh. To the contrary, It's just like with your own family inside the house. When you just bring them, always when you enter the house, they will love your entry. They look forward to you coming back. You are funny. You are a joy to be around. Uh, the house is not a military base. The house is not. And that question of Sufyan Thawri changed really the life of Al-Ma'afri until he passed away, like throughout the rest of his life. It changed his life. He was serious. It could be seen in his attitude until the rest of his life. Mentioning the stand-up comedies, and what do we have? I hope that you know that there are those who are depressed, and you can see that they are down, as they don't enjoy what people enjoy or what they used to enjoy. They are slouching in the way they sit. They have no interest. They have, just like simply depressed. And there's another type, those who laugh and they are all the time, and that could also be a sign of depression. The second one, the latter one, is not well known. So why do people go to simply listen to someone who simply make them laugh? They pay tickets. People are depressed. There is no fulfillment in the real sense. Away from spirituality, there is something definitely lacking. And momentarily, at least for some time, as long as at least momentarily you are distracted and you are laughing. But thereafter, you'll go back to your own reality. You watch a movie, you go back to your own reality. There are certain things that are permissible, there are certain things that are not. The issue is that you cannot make fun of of the misery of people, of actual people, the, which is often the case. وترى كل أمة جاثية كل أمة تدعى إلى كتابها اليوم تجزون ما كنتم تعملون. And you see every faith community on its knees. Every community will be summoned to its record of deeds. They all will be told, this day you will be rewarded for what you used to do. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will uh, quicken, will bring people to life. They will be caused to die. Then they will be resurrected, quickened on the day of judgment, and they will be gathered on that day. It's a day of reckoning. To Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala belongs the kingdom of the heavens and the earth. وَلِلَّهِ مُلْكُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. ويوم تقوم الساعة يومئذ يخسر المبطلون. The people who will be people of falsehood will be at a loss, in total loss. And وترى كل أمة جاثية, every community will be on its knees. It has been, we have two interpretations on their knees. The first one's directly on their knees. Second one is that they will be distinguished, simply grouped together. And I see there's no problem in just having both at the same time, in the sense of they'll be on their knees, and you can say that this is this community, this nation, this كل أمة. هذا كتاب ينطق عليكم بالحق إنا كنا إنا كنا نستنسخ ما كنتم تعملون. This record of ours speaks the truth about you. Indeed, we always had deeds, your deeds recorded, of course, by the angels. We have the kataba, the angels who write everything that we do. And there will be a record for each one of us. And you would know immediately. There are many other things. The way you will be received, the moment of death. If your book is given to you with your right hand, then you are, inshallah, safe and sound, and you'll be destined to paradise. With the left, it's hellfire, ra'yadu billah. Here we have, of course, it's either good deeds or bad deeds, but the cornerstone, of course, is the belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, believing in God, believing in the oneness of God, and nothing's like unto Him. There are those who say that we believe in God, but they have a theology that is closer to polytheism rather than anything else. Those who attribute literally physical attributes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as if He exists in space and time, as if He is it has been said that this is one. It's a little bit. One needs to mentioning that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Adam. In Arabic, على صورته, the suffix pronoun in his image, it's not capital H. His small h, lowercase, referring to Adam alayhi salam. The people of the book, they have this verse that God created Adam in His image. The Hebrew is Bitsalmo, Salem, in His image. It's they believe it refers to God, and that's of course problematic theologically. At any rate, so we have this as a background. Then they say, then the human beings creating the gods in their own image. The Greek gods, they are nothing but human beings with specific measurements. In fact, when they speak about beauty, or it seems it goes back to the Greeks. Now, about doing the good deeds, the bad deeds. Anyone who has just simply just a little bit of heart and sanity and a true understanding knows that gambling casinos are evil. That's bad. Distributing, just making, availing marijuana, just like cigarettes, both cigarettes, tobacco, and marijuana, unless it's for, you talk about drugs used for medical reasons during surgery, anesthesia. It's basically drugs. But recreational, that which is recreational, it's bad. Prostitution and having laws to protect, and it's very demeaning to women. Having unions for them, of course, it means that the state will take taxes from them. That's the most important thing now in the West. That's bad. That's not a good deed. Definitely not. Euthanasia is bad. Abortion, no medical reason. Simply, it's the result of not really emphasizing morality, no sex before marriage, and no fornication and no adultery after marriage. So that deed is bad. Alcohol is bad. And the general surgeon in the United States wanted to label uh, alcoholic beverages like tobacco packs are have warning. The same thing. The list of the bad things. It's good deeds, of course. Uh, any act of charity beyond what you have to. Your zakah, of course, inshallah, you'll be rewarded. But think about going beyond your obligation. Praying, but working for peace internally within the society or between nations, fair trade, fairness in terms of justice. The world order right now keeps the poor countries poor, though they have the resources. Imagine how rich Africa is and how poor Africa is. Very rich with resources, gold, diamonds, and rare minerals, and poverty. There's corruption in their leadership, but really there are Western countries that are usurping these resources. Now, for Muslims, I have to conclude with this, inshallah. For Muslims, we do have the acts of worship. The internal spiritual dimension is a must. You cannot simply be an empty shell. But about life in general, it is today is Friday, and one of the things that we do on Friday is reciting Surah Al-Kahf, the cave. Towards the end of this surah, this chapter, you have the story of Dhul Qarnayn, and that story is about what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala availed in this on earth, for example, for us, so that we could basically utilize. It's the cause effect. Few times the Qarnayn fulfilled it. He took that to heart, the idea of cause and effect, always by leave of God. But it's acting, including the very last story where he interacted. He met with the people who could almost understand nothing. They are not even clear about what it's simply saying. They are in a primitive state, as a civilizational force. لا يكادون يفقهون قولا. Illiterate, primitive, say. But they expressed what they want, and they wanted a barrier between them and Ya'juj and Ma'juj, Gog and Magog. He did not tell them, because they are in that state, just sit aside, I will do it with my army. He involved them in the process. And today we have our own resources in the Arab and Muslim world. They are not at our own disposal. And because we are disunited, and this is a very important notion, it's not about politics, the chair, if you will. It's about protecting the wealth of this ummah, and because they are weak, uh, they try to please the those who are ruling the world by giving up more and more of their own religion. It's very simple. Accept me, I'm giving up. I'm, I am more liberal than what you think. And religion is retracting, and the state resources are spent to have celebrations, a distraction. So if we go back to the story of Al-Ma'afri, maybe we'll start the next session, inshallah, by mentioning the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ about the Ummah towards the end of time becoming like the scum of in a river. To discuss it further. But think of the example of Sufyan al-Thawri with al-Ma'afri. You cannot be amongst the you cannot be acting within the framework and the paradigm of the Mubtilun. Definitely not as believers, but also being actively a force of the good in this life. Until next time, subhanakallah wa hamdik, shada la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.